Hello, my friends. We are here. The time has come. Woo! It's been crazy in the studio tonight, guys. Wow! All these tests we've been doing, and we're still working the sound systems and everything, guys. So thank you for bearing with us. These testings we're doing. But tonight is big night for me personally. I'm very excited. This is going to be probably the most controversial show that I have ever done. That's why I brought in the big gun. The big gun. This is her, guys. This is Dr. Cali Estes. She has come on the show via phone probably almost 20 times this last year. And finally, we get her in the studio tonight. The doctor is here. She is the founder of the Addictions Academy and also theaddictionscoach.com. So I'm going to share more about really her credentials. She's been on CNN. She's been on Dr. Drew. She flies across the country with celebrities and coaching and recovery coaching, addiction coaching. And we have a major controversial show tonight. But before I tell you what the controversy is, say hello to Rachel.
Hi.
All right.
It's so great to see you guys.
So Rachel's going to be on tonight also and sharing her views about tonight's big topic. And you know Mr. Batman over here, AJ.
Looking forward to seeing you guys.
All right. And then as I switch over, say hello to the cameraman, Simon. Hey, Simon. God bless America from England, right? That's right. And Simon, I'm sure all you guys already know, I say it every show. Simon worked for the royal family. And Simon was right there with Princess Diana as she went to marry Prince Charles. How amazing is that? So this is awesome to have him in the studio. I just love this guy. Plus, who doesn't like a British accent? I mean, we all love that. I mean, that's the only reason you're here tonight, Simon. I'm sorry. I just like your accent. So,
my wife married me.
yeah. This is how he got such a pretty wife, right? Because he has an English accent. That's just being real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a bonus.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus.
A really nice bonus.
A really nice bonus. That's right. So I'm just getting all the Facebook pages all lined up with the live feed right now. So you can go right now to multiple pages. Obviously, you're seeing this at My Recovery Radio Facebook. Kind of switching also over to Kent Paul's Facebook. Cali Estes is going to be on her page also. And, of course, Rachel's page. So this is going to be shared all across America, all across the world. This show is going to be heard up to 17 countries, guys. So, boy, praise God for that. This really is reaching at a large global level. So I'm very happy about that. So we're going live right now, guys. So ready for this? Oh, the big topic. Is marijuana a drug? Is marijuana addictive? If I'm smoking marijuana, can I say I'm sober? Woo! And what about sugar?
Well, you tuned into the right place.
Here we go.
Welcome to My Recovery Radio with your host, Kent Paul. Real people, real stories,
Loud.
real hope. Addiction and tragedy are real, but so is recovery. Give us 1 hour and be filled with strength, peace, joy, love, and hope. Get your power back. Remember, with God, all things are possible. And now, here he is, your host and author of Power from Pain, Kent Paul.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to My Recovery Radio. Real people, real stories, real hope. Presented by Lake Haven Treatment Center. The show is presented by the Addiction Academy out of Miami, Florida, and theaddictioncoach.com by Dr. Cali Estes, who is in the studio tonight. Hello, this is Kent Paul, I'm host. So blessed to have another day clean and sober. Woo, thank you, God. This show is a show for the broken, but also for the families of the broken. It's for the suffering and also the loved ones of the suffering. If you're looking for hope or you want to share your hope with us, this is the show for you. Because like I always say, guys, we are family healing together. Coming to you live out of West Palm Beach, Florida on News Talk 850 WFTL from the Treasure Coast to the Gulf Coast. We are live and also live on Facebook Live. So go to Facebook at My Recovery Radio. Facebook at My Recovery Radio. This is live stream right now. You can go ahead and check out the whole studio. If you want to listen to it right there on your iPhone or smartphone or laptop, it is live stream also by audio. Just go to the website, myrecoveryradio.com, and click the live stream tab. So this show is being seen and heard in multiple ways. And I'm so happy to announce, as I said the last couple nights, that this show is now in 17 countries. Woo! Wow!
That's what I'm talking about.
17 countries, guys. And a couple of those countries are as Ukraine, Haiti, Philippines, Brazil, Canada, Taiwan, Nigeria. And the latest one 2 days ago is the Netherlands.
Nice.
Woo! Wow,
Nice.
wow, it's just fantastic. So happy to be in this position. I'm so blessed. And I tell you right there, right, AJ, that it says that, this is a global problem, but also with a global solution.
That's what My Recovery Radio is. It is a global solution.
It is a global solution, brother. That is so right, man. This is a global solution. So I'm going to dive right into this. I tell you, I am so blessed to have in studio, yes, let me say that again. She is in studio, the one, the only Dr. Cali Estes. Wow, I'm so happy to have her here.
Yes.
And Dr. Estes, I tell you, she's been on the show. She's chimed in as the expert to my show almost 20 times this last year, but I've never got her in studio. And she is here from Miami. God bless her. She took her 2 hours in traffic during rush hour. This show goes live at 8 p.m., so she, in rush hour on a Friday night to come up here. So God bless her for that. But Cali, she's been seen on CNN. She's been on Dr. Drew, national television as the expert in the world of addiction. She travels to countries with celebrities, professional athletes, NFL players. She is a highly sought after recovery life coach, and she is here to share her expertise and elements on tonight's topic. But before I tell you the topic, we also have in studio Rachel.
Hi.
Woo!
Hey.
Rachel,
Good to see you.
again, guys, go to Facebook Live right now. You can see who we're all in the studio right now with Cali and Rachel. And I said, wow, you know what? Before the show, I was talking to the guy, talking to AJ and my producer here, and we're like, wow, I've never had a show where I actually had me and 2 of the ladies on the show before. It's like, okay, this is gonna. I've never had this before in my whole entire life, so it's gonna be fun. So I might get teamed up tonight, guys. So I don't know if I'm safe or what, and I'm in the middle between these 2 ladies. So I'm like, am I gonna be all right? So it's gonna be great. But I tell you what, the topic of tonight is marijuana. Marijuana. Is marijuana a drug? Is marijuana addictive? If I am smoking marijuana, am I sober? Woo! Man, oh man, is this going to be a controversial show? Because let me tell you, and that's why I'm so blessed to have Dr. Cali Estes to come into this, because this is probably the most controversial show that I've ever been involved with. And, her and I have been in recovery a long time, and she coaches people all over the world and things. And this is the topic that's probably most controversial. I personally know people that are in the rooms of recovery. They do raise their hand and say, yes, I have 2 years clean and sober, 5 years clean and sober. Yes, I am clean and sober. Yes. And they go home and smoke pot. Absolutely. I know these people. And this is a major controversy. Some say yes, some say no, some say this, some say that. And I'm going to draw in some controversy tonight. And I welcome that. Right now on Facebook, you can go ahead as this live streaming on Facebook Live. Make comments. What do you think? I'm looking at the camera right now. I'll speak out to Facebook Live right now all over the world. What do you think? Is marijuana a drug? I'm asking you. If you are smoking marijuana, are you sober? So Dr. Cali Estes, right now, I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Is marijuana a drug?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, and next question. Okay. And let's move on.
Of course it's a drug, but isn't sugar a drug?
Yep.
Isn't Suboxone a drug?
Okay, yes. So let's just define a drug.
Okay.
Why is marijuana a drug? Right now, claiming marijuana's a drug. Why?
Because it is mind altering, as is sugar, as is Suboxone, as is heroin, as is cocaine, as is Xanax, as is Klonopin, as are a lot of your other big pharma drugs.
Yeah. So, why do a lot of people say, I hear it probably at least once a week, I'm sure you do too, Cali. No, marijuana is not a drug, it's a plant. How many times have I heard that saying, no, it's a leaf, it grows from the ground, it's a plant, it's not a drug. How many times have we heard this? It's not a drug. What do we say to that?
I say, well, isn't cocaine a plant? The cocoa plant?
The cocoa. That's right.
And in some countries, they just chew the leaf.
They chew the leaf. That's
Correct.
Right. That's right.
So they're both plants.
Right.
I'm not going to deny that it's a drug. I'm going to tell you it's a drug.
Right. It's just like if you go into the forest someplace out in the Amazon, you find a dirty, nasty old mushroom that's growing on the ground. It's a plant.
Uh-huh.
Well, if I eat that sucker, guess what? Woohoo! Right?
Right.
So we'd have to say, in the world of recovery, anything that's going to alter my mind, period.
Correct.
Which is going to go into more controversy because we're going to pull sugar into this. But Rachel, what do you think? Do you agree that marijuana is a drug?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because of that same reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it alters the mind.
Because it alters the mind.
Yeah,
So let's just make this clear, guys, that I'm looking at the camera right now. We're live all over South Florida, from the Treasure Coast to the Gulf Coast on News Talk 850. We are announcing right now, marijuana is a drug. If you disagree, I want to hear from you. We're here for you. Go ahead, chime on in. Fire up Facebook Live at My Recovery Radio, Facebook Live page. Go ahead and fire it up right now. We'll receive you. At break, we can address you at break. We are here to discuss those things. Okay, so next step on in the discussion then is marijuana addictive?
I think anything can be addictive. And that's where the gray area lies. So sugar can be addictive. The gym can be addictive. Can't. Tanning can be addictive.
Whoa.
You noticed you had to go
Tanning
there,
in
right?
the gym.
Just
Okay.
saying, anything out of balance can be addictive. Taking too many selfies, we were talking about. The process of that.
I posted on Facebook last week. I said, is selfies an addiction? And I've never had more of a blow up in my entire life when I posted on Facebook, are selfies an addiction?
Yeah.
And my Facebook went to war. War. We won't talk about that's not the topic tonight, but to your point though, anything out of balance that we are finding escapism in,
Correct.
that we now feel we need, we must have, and we're not okay without it.
Correct. Because remember, drugs are not the problem. That's what's wrong with the country. It's backwards. They say drugs are the problem. It's not the problem. Drugs is the solution to the problem.
Right.
If you figured out what the problem was, you wouldn't need the drug to cope with the problem. So we treat it backwards in this country and then go, oh, look, it doesn't work.
Right.
So anything out of balance can be addictive. Your phone can be addictive. How many people at night can't sleep without checking Facebook?
Right.
Put your phone down, go to bed.
Isn't that now in Webster now? I think Webster actually has a condition of social media addiction or some element of that. Have you heard about that?
The DSM-5 is talking about putting one in there for internet and social
Oh,
media.
they're talking
they put
about
gaming
doing
in
it.
there,
Gaming.
finally. Gaming's in there now.
Gaming is now in the dictionary. Gaming.
Not dictionary, DSM-5,
Oh, DSM.
which is the diagnostical manual for psychologists.
Oh, okay. As
So-
an official condition.
Yeah, too much gaming, too much this, Xbox.
Too much Xbox,
Yeah.
too much gaming is actually now considered an absolute condition.
So too much anything.
Too much anything. And that's why this show is controversial because a lot of people say that I do things unbalanced. I do things too much. Like you said, I mean, is too much working out, is that an addiction? Is that a problem? Is, like you said, tanning every week? Like I got to feel like I have to be tan if I'm, because I am a white boy by nature. Okay? And let me just, okay? Hey, let's just be real right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Keeping
hey.
it real.
That's
Keeping it
priceless.
Real. Come on.
I am doing the world a favor. Because you don't want to see my butt white, okay? I'm just
my
saying right
God.
now. Okay, awesome, guys. When we come back after the break, we're going to talk more about this topic. We're going to dive into more essence of addiction of marijuana, more elements of it, the science of it, the medical of it, and also we're going to discuss, can you be sober and smoke marijuana? What does that mean? We're going to dive into those topics. And we're also going to get into the elements of sugar. the drug of sugar, which I'm also guilty. We're going to talk about this. Big controversy. Blow up Facebook right now. Stay tuned. My Recovery Radio.
Ooh, that's
All right.
good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. At all? Okay. All right. So that's okay. Okay. We're all good here. So can you?
I've got thumbs up since I took that out for the volume.
The
It's
mic,
working
that mic,
fantastic.
that little mic doesn't work now. They're loving
Yeah.
it.
Oh, the
No,
mic didn't work
Yeah, it
either?
didn't work.
It didn't work.
Some-
Ah!
So that one
Ken,
didn't work
I
either.
don't think I should go back over there. I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, stay right here. Yeah, stay right
And I'm
here.
getting
Yeah, yeah.
both of you in the shot.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. We're still working out the audio, guys. I have a meeting with the station on Monday, so we're going to get this audio all fixed out. But we're going to chime in right to the hardcore wiring of the station, and it's going to be amazing. So bear with us. But hopefully you can hear us right now. You can hear Rachel. She's a little bit softer. Callie and I, no problem.
You'll hear me.
We're good. We're good. We're good here. Okay, so what comments? Can you see by chance,
Yeah,
Simon?
Any comments?
Oh, yeah.
Can you
I
see
believe
on
the
yours?
internet. I believe the internet is addictive. From Patricia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. Let me
They're
see what
coming
everyone's
through.
saying here.
Oh, Rob. Do you see the one from Rob?
What's Rob saying? Rob.
The UK made social media addiction official on February 14,
Wow.
2013.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again.
Hey,
Listen up, guys. Check this out.
Rob Key. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Rob. Thanks
That's
for
my
saying.
good friend, Rob. The UK made social media addiction official February 14, 2013, according to www.thefix.com. Wow, thank you for sharing that resource with us, Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
Wow, that is right there. Yes.
And
Yeah.
Jamie says social media hits the same brain centers.
Dr. Cali Estes, what do you think? Does it hit the same brain sensories, social media components that an actual drug may?
That's a good
What-
question. You know, I don't know the answer to that. I have to research that one for you.
Yeah.
Because you have process addictions and you have chemical addictions. So gambling, sex,
Say that again to the camera.
Okay,
The two
you
different,
have-
the different kinds of addictions.
you have process addictions, and then you have chemical. So process would be internet, gambling, sex, things that are not put into your body, but your body releases its own endorphins. So your body gets addicted to its own endorphin rush. That's different than alcohol, drugs, cocaine, methamphetamine, that kind of stuff, or even food, because you're not putting something in the body. So is it possible? Yes. Would I have to research it? Absolutely. It just depends on it also depends on what your own body chemistry is and what dopamine is released. For example, there was a study done on women. They put two sets of women in different rooms. And in one room, they showed a video of chocolate milkshakes. And they monitored the women's brain, and it was through the roof just watching the chocolate milkshake be poured. In the other room, they just gave them a chocolate milkshake. And actually giving them the chocolate milkshake to drink had a lower dopamine level than actually watching it on the screen. So if you're doing that kind of a thing, you translate that to the internet, absolutely.
Wow. Wow. So would you say that in your professional opinion, no science done, research so far, but in your views, but in your professional opinion, would you say the answer is yes?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Would the hormone be dopamine?
I think it is dopamine, and I think it has a lot to do with self-perception. Because, for example, you see these millennials, they check into Starbucks, and they're getting a mocha furco latte, and then they take a picture of their drink, and then they judge themselves on how many likes they get. If they only have 5 likes versus 25 likes. Well, if Becky got 25 likes, now they want to do something even more crazy
We're back.
to get something bigger.
Oh yeah, we're good at that. Welcome back to My Recovery Radio, my friends. This is Kent Paul, your host. I'm so blessed to have another day clean and sober. We have the big controversial show tonight. We have Dr. Cali Estes with the Addiction Academy and my friend Rachel Shirley here as well. And we're having a great, great time here. Before we went to break, we're talking about the big topic, controversy, marijuana. Is it a drug? Is it addictive? Am I sober if I'm smoking marijuana? And then we're going to dive into the almighty sugar after that. And boy, does Dr. Cali Estes have some amazing things there. So let's get right back into that as well. Now, in your professional career, you were telling me earlier on that you are actually using marijuana from the essence of getting people off Suboxone and also off of heroin
Heroin, Suboxone, and methadone.
Yeah. So tell us about the science of that. Why marijuana in those cases, in your opinion, is necessary, and then what do you do? What should a person do in that process of getting sober?
Okay, so the first thing is, in mainstream media and mainstream medical, it is okay if you're a heroin addict to go on Suboxone. It's okay to go on methadone. All it is a low-grade legal opiate that is a big pharma grade type thing. It is not natural. It's made basically in a petri dish. You're putting that in your body. It's harder to detox from Suboxone and methadone than it is heroin, because heroin does have a natural component. So that's a problem. So you get these doctors who prescribe Suboxone, and it should be a 5 to 7 day detox and done, but they put them on maintenance plans, so instead of doing heroin, now you're supposed to be on a maintenance plan. Maintenance plans, what happens is it leaches into your bones. So now you have phantom pains, you have headaches when you try to come off of it, and the same thing with heroin. You're going to have the night sweats, you're going to have the terrors, you're going to have the insomnia, you're going to have the restless leg syndrome, you're going to have the nausea, you're going to have the headache, you're going to have all of that. Plus you're going to have something called brain fog. If you get through all the physical, a week into it, you're flat. Nothing makes you happy. All the dopamine is gone in your brain. By taking a little bit of marijuana, and mostly the edibles work the best, or the oils, you don't have those symptoms. It takes all of them away. So the transition from using to sober is so much more pleasant and so much more easy when you have that bridge.
So that amazing explanation about why you use it in that process. What then? What does a person do when they go through that medical process? Very well explained about the dopamine process, the brain chemistry process. This is very important from the science aspect in the world of addiction and recovery, medically. So we take out the big, bad demon monster out, and we go ahead and use his little demon brother.
Nice. Good way to put it.
The mini demon, and bring that into the equation too, because it is, you're right, it's better than the big monster demon that's going to kill you any second. I agree with that. Okay, so in this this discussion, now a person is possibly dependent on another mind-altering substance. We identified it earlier as a drug.
Here's the difference.
Okay, what do you do then?
You're not physically dependent on marijuana.
You're
Marijuana
you're
and
not
cocaine
physically.
are emotional dependent drugs. Heroin, Suboxone, and methadone,
Okay.
Percocet, Percodan, Vicodin, anything in that opiate, area, you are physically dependent.
So your biochemistry, literally biochemistry changes,
Yes,
and you become clinically,
correct.
down to the cellular level, dependent on the substance.
Correct. That is a lot different than treating a cocaine addict or a crack addict or a meth addict. Very, very different. Because physically, if they don't have it, they crave it physically, which is a lot different than the emotional aspect of, I really could get high right now. You don't need to. But with the opiate crowd, they need to feel
need
normal.
to.
Correct.
Otherwise, literally down to the biochemistry, I am not okay. Okay,
Correct.
so versus marijuana, you said marijuana, and did you say heroin? As far as not only being emotionally
No,
dependent.
cocaine.
So you're saying that cocaine does not change the biochemistry
No.
of the body to this degree we're talking about. So
Correct.
So cocaine, and we'll get off topic a little bit, is an emotional addiction. So you call it an emotional addiction, and marijuana an emotional addiction.
Correct.
So how do you define emotional addiction?
Emotional addiction is something you feel you need, not physically, but boy, I could really use that. Think of it this way. You haven't had any cookies today, but you want a Chips Ahoy cookie. How many Chips Ahoy cookies do you sit down and eat? Where's the average person who has one cookie? Have you met a person who's had one cookie?
Never met that person, no.
Okay, so you sit down. So emotionally you say, I want that cookie. Do you need the cookie? No. Does your body crave the cookie? Not really. It may crave sugar, but a banana's sugar. Banana's better sugar.
Right.
So it's craving the banana, but your mind goes, I want that cookie. That's emotional attachment to the cookie. Now you eat the cookie and watch what happens. You have one cookie. Do you stop? No. Why? Now you become physically addicted to the sugar. Now you want the next cookie.
Yeah, wait. We're gonna get the sugar, because once we get the sugar, we're gonna, like after the next break, that's a whole nother Oprah. Yeah, I love my Oprah. That's a whole nother Oprah. Gonna come on to that.
That was funny.
You know I love my Oprah. I have her on the show a lot. You know. Okay, so
I like that. That was good.
tell me, when you smoke marijuana, is there any chemical released in the brain? Is there any element of serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine? Is there any brain chemistry alteration from marijuana?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's very similar to cocaine and sugar. The brain is always altered when you do something. See,
But what is the hormone? That's what I'm asking.
You're talking about what it does is cloud the brain
It clouds
and it
the brain.
relaxes you.
So it's not actually releasing a hormone like a dopamine, possibly like a serotonin. That's not occurring.
Correct. Now, what heroin does is heroin shuts down your brain. It hijacks your receptors.
It hijacks it.
So instead of your body producing its natural chemical, heroin stops it all and takes the artificial and inserts it. So what happens is when you take the heroin or the opiate away, your brain goes, okay, I'm waiting for it. Okay, it's not coming. Okay, panic, because it doesn't want to start reproducing. And if you think about it, you ride a bicycle. It takes energy, right? Then you go buy an electric bike, you get lazy, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you want to go back to riding the bicycle if you can use the electric bike? No.
No.
That's what happens with heroin.
Ah.
Marijuana does not do that.
It does not do that.
And when you stop using marijuana, you don't have all the side effects that you have of heroin. You don't have the restless legs. You don't have the nausea. You don't have the diarrhea. You don't have the vomiting. You don't have the insomnia. You don't have the headaches. You don't have the brain fog. The only time you have the brain fog is when you're using it, which is why I don't have them smoke it. I'd use the edibles or the CBD oils. They ingest the oil.
How long do you have them on the marijuana process to get off these major drugs?
Depends on the client. So if you have somebody shooting heroin, it's going to be a longer step-down process because you want to make sure the body resets itself. It can take 6 months to a year to reset your body to reset itself from opiates.
So you might have them take marijuana for a year?
Depends on the person. Yeah, depends on how much they're doing.
See, I just don't know if I can agree with that. There's got to be another way
There's got to be another way.
for a person to be on a mind-altering substance drug to get off another drug that the process is a year. I can't imagine that person getting off marijuana. Okay.
Every day?
No,
Every day.
it depends on the client. Now remember, you're also using CBD oils, which don't have THC, so you're not getting high.
You're not getting high. So your mind is not being altered.
Correct.
Okay, well then
So it's a step-down process.
so it's not a drug.
Correct. Well, they classify it. It's the government classified it as a Schedule 1.
I know, but in this discussion earlier in the show, how do we identify a drug?
Correct. So
A mind-altering substance.
right. So you start with the edibles, which is a higher level THC.
Now we're talking about medical marijuana now.
Correct.
Okay, let's switch gears there. So just pure medical marijuana.
Each thing has a different THC level. You can get very, very low or very, very high. So if you have someone who just shot up, they're going to go through a hard detox. They're
Just
gonna
shot up some
vomit.
heroin. Just
Correct.
boom. Okay.
They're going to vomit. They're going to have projectile vomiting. They're going to have diarrhea within the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So if you have them take a high-grade edible, it will stop some of those problems. Now, 3 days from now, they're not going to be vomiting. They don't need that 200 milligram edible. Maybe they take a 100 milligram edible.
But who's controlling them stepping down and taking a lower dose?
Legally, nobody. Legally. Because
So I can't imagine an addict actually saying, okay, well, I better step down my dose a little bit. I know I was just shooting heroin, 2 weeks ago.
Here's where it gets
No!
Yeah, but yes, and I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Most heroin addicts don't like marijuana. Most opiate addicts don't like marijuana because it's not
opposite.
well, it's not the high that they're used to.
Right, not the high. Right.
Exactly. It's a nice relaxed sitting down, hanging out, but it's not a high. So they don't like it. So everyone goes, "Oh my God, they love it. They're going to be addicted to it." No, they're not.
But they're going to say, well, this is better than nothing.
Well,
They could easily say that.
Yeah.
that's
It's
rare.
better than
In
nothing.
fact, I've only had one tell me that.
Okay.
So most of them,
All right.
because they also know it's a step-down process. They know this is not a long-term solution.
They know this up front.
Correct.
And now, have you experienced them in majority that are actually disciplined enough to accept this process, knowing that they are going to be stepping down and be getting
Yes.
off of this?
Well, if they're coming to me, they know this. Yes.
Who's controlling their dose? Anyone?
Legally, no.
No.
I can't.
I know you
No,
can.
they
you
can go to a
can't.
medical grade doctor, and the doctor can control their dose. But if you're in Colorado or you're in Massachusetts, it's recreational. You can walk in and buy whatever you want.
Right.
But here's the thing that we're not addressing. Just because someone's an addict doesn't mean they take every single substance on the planet. Remember, I'm a foodie and a pill addict, but I can have a glass of wine. It doesn't faze me. And I can walk out after I have half glass wine.
Woo! this is getting
That's
controversial now because
Okay, that's
see, because I don't agree with that either. So
Yeah.
wow, I love it. I love it.
That's-
That's why this is such an
really
awesome show.
interesting.
I was hoping for controversy right here in the studio, right here on Facebook Live. Go ahead and chime in right now, guys, before we into the break. Go to Facebook at My Recovery Radio. Let's hear from you. Stay tuned right here on My Recovery Radio, my friends, because when we come back after the break, we're going to answer the question, am I sober if I'm smoking marijuana in recovery? Stay tuned.
The glittering inaugurables.
Excellent. That's great.
This is good.
job. That's
So,
great. Yeah.
are you reading? What do you think, guys?
So, Rob has another question.
Okay,
And this
Rob.
is a good one.
Rob has a question. Rob has a
Okay.
question.
There are many articles that suggest that THC from smoking marijuana can be transferred skin to skin, causing the recipient of the touch to become high. True or false?
Wait, they're saying that if a person is smoking marijuana
Right.
and they're in touching of their pores to another person, that person can actually absorb in the marijuana?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
This is like the old adage where you inhale the joint, you blow the smoke in someone else's mouth, and they're supposed to get high. I'm going to say no, because even if you touch the person, you might feel a tingle, but I highly doubt you're going to get high. There's a difference between getting high and not getting high.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine me, what I used to do, pop a couple Xanax, be snuggling with someone, and they actually, through my pores, they can actually start to feel the effects of Xanax. Or actually through your sweat glands. I think there'd be too much detoxification through your entire body process, being the great human bodies that we have through that, to actually convert over an element to the point it actually can enter enough dose into your body to be a mind altering. So I think we're agree on this panel that the answer is, on our opinion, I know we have a doctor in the house, but we are saying no. No. What else do we have?
Okay, Jamie is asking, how about medical uses for marijuana, i.e. for topical use, not eaten, smoked, or vaporized?
Love it. Okay, so when my
Can you
people...
repeat the question?
Yes, so the question is topical use. So if you have aches and pains, if you are detoxing and you feel sick, one of the things with opiate detox is they have what's called phantom pain, meaning they might feel their elbow hurts. It feels like it's broken, but it's really not. So there are really good creams and salves that help with muscle soreness, muscle relaxation, and muscle pain that are all natural. Love them, use them, refer them out to everybody.
Awesome. Who we have? Who's
I
this?
think is it Hope?
Oh yeah, Hope. Hope Zaro says, everyone's brains react addictively to different drugs. What if someone can have one drink but never relapse? Is there a drug? Are they an addict also? Are they still sober?
Hope's up my alley. Okay, so the question was, if you're sober and you have a drink, do you relapse? Now,
So
it
yeah, so
depends.
if you're sober and you have a drink, but your mind's not altered, you only had one drink. Are you still sober?
That's a good question.
That's the
But
question.
Here's my question to Hope. Was your drug of choice alcohol? Because if your drug of choice is not alcohol, we're back to, I can go to the bar, I can sit there for 6 hours and drink half a glass of wine and be completely fine, because alcohol is not my drug of choice. You give me some speed, I'm off to the races, because I don't like to go down. I don't like morphine, I don't like opiates, I don't want any of it. When I go to the hospital, I don't take it. Can't stand it. So, in my opinion, it depends on what your drug of choice was and if you're harm reduction. I do harm reduction a lot with my clients.
How about this? How about this deep down in your soul, Hope? Ask yourself the question, why? What is your why? Why did you have that drink?
30 seconds.
If cocaine or something was your drug of choice, you have a glass of wine, what is your why? Were you seeking escapism? Were you seeking it? Did you emotionally relapse? It's something to think about.
Yeah, or rebellion.
What? Meth?
15 seconds.
Choice is meth.
Meth. Meth.
So I'm going to say no,
Meth.
no, and I'm going to tell you why, because I do harm reduction. If your drug of choice is meth and you like to fly, alcohol is not going to do it for you, because you're not going to be a downer. But if you do everything, then my answer is yes.
Welcome back to My Recovery Radio, my friends. Whoo, boy, at the break, we are just blowing up Facebook Live. We are answering questions from all over the country. Some great questions. The last question that just came in is, if you're a meth addict, that was your drug of choice. You're off that. You're sober now. A year or two down the road, I'm going to have a glass of wine. Did I relapse? See, this is good stuff right here. This is real. This is real life stuff.
If you don't mind me chiming in, this
Go
is
ahead,
what
AJ.
I'm going to say.
This is
for
AJ.
number one, I'm an alcoholic. So I know there is no chance, no way that I'm having a Budweiser. Because if I have a Budweiser, I'm having a shot of Jack.
But that's your drug of choice.
Right. Now, I have a best friend who is just a pothead. For him, it was never a gateway drug. Once he found pot, he was done. But I know way too many people who have taken marijuana as a gateway drug that has led to cocaine, that has led to heroin, that has led
but
to
what you're saying
flocka. It's a constant step up, constant step up, constant step up. I feel that marijuana is a gateway drug.
Okay, so let's dive right into the next topic because thank you, AJ. That was a good lead-in for that. Thank you so much, Hope. Thank you so much for the questions coming through Facebook Live. So right there. Okay, so let's just take me, for example, right? My drug of choice was Xanax. Xanax led to alcohol. At the end, it was 100% alcohol, drinking almost a gallon of vodka a day. Period. Alcohol was it. I believe for me, if I were to pop a pill that is element of escapism, for that reason, it does escape me.
Right.
It could be a painkiller, Vicodin, Percocet, Xanax, whatever element that is. If I pop one of those things for the sake that's outside of a medical procedure, surgery, whatever else, and I'm seeking escapism, I relapse. Period.
Yes.
If I have a drink, if I have a glass of wine, I relapse. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Now, here's a controversy, right? If I was a meth head, and I never touched alcohol. Meth, speed, the go-go juice, the go-go fun, right? I don't care less about alcohol. Now I'm clean, I'm sober, I detoxified, I haven't had meth in 3 years. I'm out with my friends. Socially, they pour a glass of wine, I have a glass of wine. Am I sober?
Yeah. Well, no, not while you're drinking the wine, but yeah, and here's why. Here's my theory on it. If your drug of choice is Xanax and alcohol, they're downer drugs. Okay? You're going to seek downer drugs. So if you have a glass of wine or a Xanax or a Dilaudid or an opiate, you're going to relapse. Those are downer drugs.
Okay.
Now, if you do cocaine and all you like are downers, you're not going to like cocaine. You're not going to want to fly. You're not going to want to be up. So Hope's question was, she likes to fly. Alcohol's not going to do it for her. She's not going to be interested in coming down. And I'm going to put myself in her category because I'm a speed freak. I like to fly. Alcohol does nothing for me but make me ill.
Okay, so right there, let me stop. Let me stop because I'm Dr. Cali Estes, I'm receiving your information. Okay, so from a clinical physician such as yourself,
I do harm reduction.
And you do harm reduction. See, this is where you and I do not agree, and I love that we can agree not to disagree. We can agree to disagree. I do not believe in harm reduction. I do not believe. I'm abstinent. Boom, 12-step abstinence done. Alcohol
and that works for you, but that doesn't work for everybody.
I believe it can work and does work for everyone.
I disagree.
That if they go down the path of a spiritual path.
Disagree.
We are going to go to war here.
Now I'm going to blow everybody.
Okay, AJ.
I'm a dual diagnosis addict, you might as well say. Because I'll tell you what, I'll drink, I'll go out to the bar, and then a friend of mine at the bar would have had cocaine. I would have snorted a couple lines, went back to the bar and drink it, and kept going and kept going and kept going. Right, Rachel?
Oh yeah, I used to be up in the VIP rooms with the celebrities. Oh yeah, doing cocaine. Absolutely.
And drinking at the same time. So we got the downer, and you got the speed of the cocaine.
Okay, so right there, let's get to the topic. Okay. Now, if I am sober of alcohol and drugs.
Hang on, I want to address AJ real quick.
Oh, okay.
You can't do harm reduction, and I'll tell you why. If you are in both sectors, most people take downers to numb, uppers to have fun because they're bored. Okay? If you're doing both, the only method that's going to work for you is abstinence because you're not going to be able to do one or the other in balance.
Right.
Right. Okay. Now, if you come to me and you're a downer person and you say, can I try a little cocaine? I'm going to say to you, I don't know, maybe, because you may not like it. If you like to be down because it numbs you out from your trauma, you're not going to want to be up because it's going to make you paranoid. It's going to make all the trauma come to the front of your brain and you're going to wig out. You're probably not going to like it. And vice versa.
But then I'm going to drink a beer. Once I'm all paranoid, I need a beer now.
I'm going to have to.
Well, that's because you're
Oh
speedballing. You're a speedballer. So you will have to use an abstinence-based method. But somebody, for example, I have a client whose drug of choice is cocaine and women. That's it.
Cocaine and women.
Cocaine and women.
Okay.
No other drug of choice. He says, can I go out to the bar and have a glass of wine? I said, how many glasses of wine do you have? He goes, 1. I'll have 1 glass of wine with dinner with my wife. I said, fine. I said, not a problem. Now, if you go get an 8-ball, now we have a problem. The wine does not lead to the cocaine. The cocaine led to the wine.
Okay.
So he can have a glass of wine and it doesn't trigger anything.
So let me ask you the question.
Mhm.
If somebody is sober
Mhm.
and they smoke marijuana, are they sober? Are they actually, they claim to be sober. Drugs, alcohol, okay?
Mhm.
They're now absent from those two things.
Mhm.
And they smoke marijuana.
Mhm.
Are they sober?
I don't think when you're taking any mind-altering substance, you're sober, including sugar.
Okay.
There it is. There it is.
Oh,
There it is.
okay.
There it is.
So you actually promote non-sober methods.
That's harm reduction, honey. That's what it's called.
So you actually promote, so we are not going to get you sober. We are going to have, you believe in a transitional process.
Correct.
But not a sober process.
Let me tell you why. If I tell you you cannot go tanning tomorrow and you cannot work out tomorrow, you are going to tell me.
No!
And I'm going to say this is the abstinence-based method because first of all, tanning causes cancer. So you're no longer.
No. Spray tan. I don't go out in the sun.
So you're putting chemicals on your skin.
That's better than the sun.
See, and there's a justification in it.
Okay.
So now
Justification.
we're going to talk about that. So if I say to you no more tanning, you're going to panic. And you're going to say to me, what do you mean no more tanning? How am I going to stop tanning? And you're going to look for alternative ways to get your skin the color you want it. So for me to say to you, instead of stopping tanning altogether, I want you to go, instead of going, how many times a week do you go?
Like once every 10 days.
Okay, I want you to go once every 20 days. And then I want you to go once every 30 days. And then I want you to go once every 40 days. That's a lot more palatable for most people than you can't ever do this again for the rest of your life. You can never, ever, ever, ever put a chemical on your skin or sit in a tanning booth.
But I don't use tanning to run and escape from my emotional problems of life.
No, but you use tanning to increase your appearance, which makes you feel better about yourself, which in turn does what?
Well,
self-esteem issues. Here we go.
Well, then should I not go to the gym then?
It depends. It has to be in balance.
I'm in balance. I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I exercise only 1 hour each time I go in there. I'm very balanced. I tan 3 times a month. Is that not balanced?
That's in balance.
That's imbalance?
That's in balance.
But that sounds like it's more maintenance.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely
For you.
maintenance.
Not
100% maintenance.
having to do it like you were before
No.
when you were a bodybuilder. You had
Oh
to
my
have
word.
bigger muscle.
Let's be real clear.
Right.
When I was Mr. Colorado, I was one sick puppy.
Hey,
Let's just be real. I was one sick. I looked good on the outside, but I was not good on the inside.
So if you don't work out now,
that's fine. I didn't work out today. I missed my workout today.
how do you feel, Ken?
I'm fine.
Okay, so
I'm a little edgy right now, man. I'm about to freak out. Me and Dr. Cali Estes are going to break both so I can work out today. No. I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. This whole essence of balance. Here's my stance on this. We know we're about to go to break because we got to go to sugar still tonight. But I believe this. Whatever we're using to escape our real life, emotional, mental processes of life at which I cannot handle, and that escape is a mind-altering element, is a drug.
correct.
In whatever means that is. Now, I know that's why this is controversial, because this can explode all the way down to what we just said. Gym, tanning, food, movies, whatever kinds of things. But in the elements of drugs and alcohol is going to kill me. Kill me. Could kill me. If I relapse, kill me. And kill the people around me.
So can smoking, but why is that allowed?
I don't believe in smoking.
But but hang on. Certain situations, you cannot use any drugs, but you go to the rooms. And
The rooms of recovery.
everybody has a
Everybody
cigarette.
smokes.
Everybody has a vape. Everybody's puffing constantly.
So are they sober?
sober?
Are they sober?
I say no.
Because nicotine's mind altering.
I say no.
You say no.
I say no.
If someone smokes cigarettes, they're not sober.
Yeah. And you've got donuts
Woo!
and cookies and caffeine. No, honey.
No.
honey. You are not sober because this.
Wow.
I can have this, but I can't have that. No way.
This is awesome.
That's called compartmentalization.
Oh my word! I don't want to go to break, AJ. We gotta go to break right now.
Time to go to break.
We gotta go to break right now. This is so amazing, very controversial. Right now, Dr. Cali Estes and the great Rachel. Stay tuned, My Recovery Radio. We're gonna get to sugar after the break. Stay tuned.
But the main difference with drugs and everything else is not harmful to others. Drugs are.
That's awesome.
Okay, so here's
That's
the thing.
awesome.
Simon just said this. Sugar, exercise, tanning, whatever it is, it's not harming other people. Drugs and alcohol does. Is that true? Dr. Cali
Okay, so if you're smoking a cigarette and I'm standing next to you, I'm going to end up getting the second-grade cancer because of your inability.
Secondhand smoke?
Yep, secondhand
You
smoke.
can get cancer secondhand smoke, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So you've got that issue.
So here, I think Simon was talking about sugar, right? Sugar, exercise. Simon, what else are you talking about?
Any addiction using social media.
Social media,
any
gaming.
yeah.
I guess it could be gambling.
Gambling could ruin it.
Gambling could ruin your family. Gambling will ruin your family.
And so will your sex addiction. If you get caught with two
Sex
women and you're
addiction?
married, yeah, your
Porn?
sex addiction, porn, and that's not a drug. That's going to ruin
Even
your entire
Terry
family.
Crews said the porn was a serious problem and was affecting his marriage.
Oh yeah.
I believe porn is every bit as damaging to the essence of a person as drugs and alcohol. Do you believe?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Porn and gambling are huge drugs because it pings the brain in its own natural
It pings
juice.
the brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Porn and gambling, pinging the brain, and what's released, Callie? What porn?
Dopamine.
Dopamine.
Serotonin. Dopamine's the happy chemical.
Dopamine is released, porn, gambling, just like drugs. And so even medically, biochemistry, to measure these things in the brain, it proves medically, and she's about medical here, the essence of addiction even from the brain process. Okay, so, and we're going to dive into sugar after the break. Oh, crap. I've been ready. I can talk about marijuana. I can talk about opiates and cocaine. Come on, baby. I'll get that. But sugar, oh, crap.
Right?
Here's my granola bar. Why'd you have to pull that up
There's
there?
sugar in that.
But it's natural.
So here's my
It's not
granola
natural
bar.
sugar. There's
It's-
something else in there. It's not natural sugar.
How many? There's like 12 grams of sugar in there?
Yeah,
something like that?
regular sugar.
So I eat this a lot of times before I work out because it does give me that slow release energy from the oat and also a little quick sugar before we go to the gym. Well, coming on the show, as you can see, I got a lot of energy. I'm sober, believe it or not. I know.
But are you really?
Oh! So now you're going to
30
claim
seconds.
that I'm not sober because I'm eating sugar?
I'm just asking you. I didn't claim anything. I
Wow.
asked a simple question.
Because of sugar?
You hit the nail on the
Yeah,
head.
I just asked you a simple question.
Wow. Dr. Cali Estes in the house.
And I didn't work out today. She is really poking the bear.
Wow.
She's just poking the bear.
10 seconds. Wow.
Okay, we're going to talk about that right now on the air.
All right.
Hey,
That was incredible.
I'm transparent, so all right.
That's your get back for earlier. I was waiting for that.
Wow, welcome back to My Recovery Radio. I am Ken Paul, your host. So blessed to have another day clean and sober. I think I'm sober. After I go into all my breaks, I say, so blessed to be another day clean and sober. And Dr. Estes, we're going into the break here. We're talking to social media, Facebook Live, answering questions, talking about this. And now we're switching over to sugar. I have a granola bar right here on the counter as I eat granola bars sometimes before I go to the gym or before this show for energy, maybe a banana, because I have a lot of energy on this show and whatever. And so she, right before we went back on air, I said, yeah, but I'm sober. And she says, but are you?
That's incredible. That's
Am I sober?
I'm telling you, that was an awesome.
Yeah. So that's the question right there.
Talk about
Because
a mind opener.
So does that mean that anyone that has a granola bar or has fruit or any essence of a sugar, okay, we're going to go to that, actually is not sober? Well, no, that's absurd, by the way.
There's this
That's
picture in my head
absurd.
of a bunch of people sitting around in a room and they're smoking cigarettes, which has nicotine, which is an upper. They're having coffee, which caffeine is an upper, and they're eating donuts. And they're going, I'm sober. Are they?
Okay. Right,
Wow.
right. So okay, but let's pause a second because Cali Estes just pulled up a picture in her phone with a scan. What is that? A CAT scan?
It's CAT scan. It's sugar and cocaine. And
Sugar
if
and
you
cocaine.
look at it,
Two
you can
different
see
brains, right? Two brains.
Two brains.
One has sugar, one has cocaine.
Correct.
A CAT scan. So,
Correct.
well, people who can't see the video right now on Facebook Live, describe what they're seeing right now on the video.
The sugar and the cocaine pings the same lobes of the brain, and if you look at the sugar side, it actually lights it up.
Talk to them.
It actually lights it up even higher.
Wow.
So the sugar alters the
Really?
mind more
than cocaine.
than the cocaine. And this article was actually, they came right out and said Oreos are legal crack. Because this was the study they did with the Oreos. Yeah. Google it.
Wow.
They did a study with Oreos, and the Oreos, the fat and the sugar content pinged the brain higher than the person using cocaine. So that's my question. If the same lobes of the brain are pinged, and they're even pinged more than that of the illegal drug, why is the drug that's legal not illegal?
But why, when you take cocaine versus sugar, is a completely different experience. You're altered to a different state level-ism than if you have some ice cream or candy bar.
Well, you are and you aren't, because now think about
you
this.
Are. It's different, very different.
Right, but coming off of it, it's very similar to heroin. Coming off sugar is very similar to heroin.
Wow.
So anybody who does sugar daily that tries to detox gets cranky, irritable, they have insomnia, they have headaches, they're brain foggy, they can't remember things, they are just a bear to deal with, and that takes 2 weeks. That is a very, very mild detox.
Detoxing sugar takes 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So how much sugar are we talking about that would result to these kinds of side effects in detox?
I'll give you my
us an
personal example.
Yes, please.
Okay. For breakfast, I would eat a donut.
This is you personally.
This is me personally.
This is back when you were...
This is my food addiction.
Your sickness and addiction. Okay,
correct.
Go ahead.
I would have a donut for breakfast.
A donut.
A donut.
Okay.
Sometimes 2. Sometimes they were, Krispy Kreme, you get 12, you get 1 free kind of a deal. Okay, so I'd have 1, sometimes 2. For lunch, I would have a salad, right? The whole concept of salad, but I would douse it full of sugary dressing, not thinking there's tons of sugar.
Yes.
And then I would have a big hunk of bread. Well, what is bread? Bread metastasizes sugar. I didn't know. Then in the afternoon, I would have a protein bar, because back then they were really granola bars, right? They really weren't protein bars.
Oh, man, don't dog my granola bar. Okay, go ahead.
And then for dinner, I would have pasta, which is sugar, and a piece of bread. Not thinking, because I'm not eating white sugar.
But
What's
you're not
the problem?
eating refined sugars that's going to be considered an escapism food. Because that's not this is called a pleasure element food, carbs in general. Yes, now we're getting on a whole different road. But we're talking about ice creams and candies and cakes and...
Oh, yeah, and I would eat cake. I would eat all that.
Oh, you would?
And then all of a sudden, you stop eating that, the body goes, wait a minute, hello, I was using that. I was using that to make dopamine. Because think about it. Every time we celebrate, what do we have? It's your birthday. What do you get?
We get sugar foods.
You get a cake.
Oh, get a cake.
Yeah. It's your sober birthday. You get a cake.
You get a cake.
Right?
Yep.
You have a divorce party. What do you have?
You have a cake.
You have a cake.
Beer.
And cake. Beer and cake. Okay.
And more cake.
I'm just saying.
That's what AJ has, beer. There's some people
I
have
had.
cake.
A beer cake.
So you have tons of sugar. Everything we do is surrounding by sugar. And then we put corn syrup in everything. Corn syrup in cereal. Corn syrup in pasta sauce. Why is there sugar in pasta sauce? Who came up with that? It's tomatoes and oil.
Sell more product.
Correct.
To sell more
because
product.
it makes you addicted.
Addictive. Wow.
Dunkin' Donuts.
But we were
biggest
talking,
dealer in the country.
but let me comment that. Rachel and I were talking after last night's show, and she was making some good comments about when people first get sober, they're actually suggest to have sugar because of the biochemistry that's like me, drinking almost a gallon of vodka a day. I get off that element. I was having a large Oreo blizzard from Dairy Queen every single night for like the next month.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying that was necessary, but I was all crazy. But
Right.
but she makes a good point, even medically, when you first get sober, are you supposed to have sugar?
No.
No.
Well, here's to your point.
I'm talking like the first couple of weeks after,
Right, and you said, well, why would you come off heroin with marijuana, get addicted to marijuana? Why are you coming off alcohol and getting on sugar? Now you're addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
Same thing with heroin. You go to the treatment centers and you've got the kids with Skittles in their pockets, walking around with a Mountain Dew and a
That's
Coca-Cola
right.
because
That's
their
right.
counselor said eat as much sugar as you can.
As much as you want.
No, you know what you do? You take amino acids that boost the dopamine in the brain.
Amino acids.
Correct.
To increase the dopamine in the brain, which is the hormone we're seeking anyways.
Correct.
We're doing it from a different portal.
You exercise, which increases dopamine.
Dopamine.
You do yoga, which increases.
Dopamine.
You meditate, which increases.
Dopamine.
There you go.
There it is.
See, you just talked to a fitness expert about how to increase dopamine, so you know he was all over that.
Right.
I know.
His eyeballs are all bugging out. That was great. I wish you guys could have seen.
I'm a lot more. Let's all work out right now. Let's do a yoga class right now. Because I want some dopamine right now, baby.
That's the way to get it. Let's work out.
But right there, we're talking about the danger. This is beautiful. The danger element of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
You just proved it by the scan. They showed it on camera of between the actually even more pings of brain than cocaine. The danger of it, the darkness of it, the addiction of it. There's detox levels of sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But right there, you explain the solution. There is another natural solution of proper foods, amino acids, which is elements of protein, increasing of exercise, meditation, and what was the other one?
Yoga, meditation, fitness, and amino acids.
Okay, yeah, so I said them all. So those are the ones that increase the same. So guys, if you're listening to this right now, live on AM 850 WFTL all over Florida, online live stream all over the world, and Facebook Live, guys, right there. If you want to get yourself stepped into true recovery, more exercise, meditation, proteins, amino acids, and see, I'm not doing yoga, but I'm doing everything else. And I have a granola bar. I have my granola bar for performance, Callie.
Yeah,
I have to have it for
Yes.
performance.
Yeah.
I'm not having my granola bar to escape my emotions. I'm doing it so I can perform for you.
Why are you not
America.
having a protein shake with some fruit? Why are we having a
I already
granola
had
bar?
one of those today. Okay. All right. So, wow, this is absolutely amazing. Callie, before we exit into the show, you put my. Hey, she's going to tell on America on my granola bar right
She's
here.
about to read.
Okay, so how many grams of
Hang
sugar?
on a
is
second.
that?
Hang on a
How many grams of sugar?
Hold on. When you read the ingredients,
Uh-oh.
the ingredients that are more, meaning it has more towards the front. So the first thing that's in here is whole grain oats.
We have
That's a
30
fruit.
seconds. We have 30 seconds. Come on.
Sugar is the next one.
How much sugar?
It just says sugar. And then down is brown sugar corn syrup.
How many-
Nonsense.
How many grams of sugar was I eating in that granola bar?
I can't read it. It's 11 grams of sugar.
11 grams of sugar. So I have 11 grams of sugar before I even go to the gym or on the radio show. So,
And this is
okay.
2 servings.
Okay, so now I'm guilty enough for my granola bar.
Oh.
Okay, fine. I'll have my amino acids, my fruit, my protein drinks.
Exporters
Yeah.
in the world. Yes.
Yes, okay.
And we live here.
We're into the show. We only have about 20 seconds. What's the last comments that you have all across the world on this topic?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's level of sobriety is independent to them. And I think everybody's modes of getting there are different. And I think everybody who has a different path needs to be honored in the way they get there. So just because you do harm reduction or abstinence doesn't necessarily mean that that's how the world needs to do it or how the world needs to view it. If it works for you and it works, then you do it.
Rachel, I'm sorry we didn't get to you a whole lot in this show.
No,
but
that's
last couple
okay.
minutes, last couple
This has
seconds.
been fantastic. No, this is really good. It's been such an educational piece, and it's been great to be here.
I love you having me all the time. Thank you,
Yeah.
AJ, for being here.
Hey,
Thanks for the
got your
great
back, man, all day.
Simon filming
Simon
the show.
rocks.
Awesome, guys. And that is our show for tonight. That's our broadcast. I wish we had a whole another hour. Man, I hope this show goes to an hour. This show was sponsored by theaddictionscoach.com and the Addictions Academy out of Miami, Florida, which is Dr. Cali Estes is the founder. She is fantastic and amazing. Real quick, what's the best phone number to contact you?
1-800-706-0318.
Say that one more time.
1-800-706-0318.
Thank you so much, guys. This show is recorded tonight, of course, live. It'll be on podcast tomorrow at myrecoveryradio.com. If you want a copy of my book, you can order that on the website. Also, it's called Power from Pain. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Tell everyone about this show, guys. If there's topics you want to hear about, even controversials like this, please email me, Kent@myrecoveryradio.com. Kent@myrecoveryradio.com. And this was a great controversial show. I love it. Callie, I still love you, Callie. Even though that, I still love you. I still love you, Rachel. I always love you, Rachel. Okay, in closing, please always remember, guys, whatever pain and suffering you are going through, there is hope. Recovery is real. And you will find real stories of real people with real miracles of healing right here on this show. We walk this journey together, guys. We are never alone because we are victors and not victims. God loves the broken because there are more pieces to work with, more chances of miracles. Oh, it's so amazing, guys. Everything you want, guys, is just on the other side of fear. Never give up. Keep moving forward. Never stop. Never give up. There's always hope, guys. See you weeknights right here every night, 8 p.m. Eastern, My Recovery Radio. And please always remember, guys, always remember, you are the chosen. We are the chosen. We are a team and a family because we have the gift. We are recovery warriors. Thank you, God. Woo! We made it. Are we still friends? Are we still friends?
Wow. That was fantastic.
Wow, guys. I think I'm
And
sweating.
Julie's watching. Julie Woodall.
Julie
Julie.
Woodley. Hi,
Hi,
Julie. Thanks
Julie.
for that so much. Is there any final questions, guys?
Hey, Julie. Hi. I'm glad you joined us.
It's hard to end a show like this because there's so much more we could talk about. Good grief. The essence of the show, we could have a 3-hour show on this topic so easily. There's so much to this. And obviously it's controversial. A lot of people have different views on this. The whole essence of marijuana and sugar, how much of a mind-altering substance, why are we doing it, how much are we doing it? I think a lot of it, though, guys, if I can kind of leave with some final notes is, you got to ask ourselves why. What is our why? Why am I doing what I'm doing? If I'm taking a drug, alcohol, a granola bar, sugar, working out, tanning, gaming, video games, too much movies, sex, porn. It's endless of what we do as human beings. Ask ourselves, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is my why? Am I doing it to run? Am I doing it to escape?
Or because you're bored.
Or, thank you. Say that again to the camera.
Or because you're bored.
Bored. See, that's something I don't talk enough about. Thank you so much. That's so right. I don't talk about that. Running, escaping, boredom. Boredom.
Doesn't matter. Sugar industry's coming after you. You realize that. The sugar industry is coming after
I'm
you.
going to get lawsuits for sugar.
And Dr. Cali Estes, because it's all about
Here's
killing,
Laura.
not doing sugar anymore. Oh, no.
Does that mean Budweiser's going to come after me too? Is that
Budweiser
it?
is coming after you.
Bring it on, Budweiser. You want some of me? You want some of me, Budweiser? I got you. I'll take you on.
Woo!
I don't have your lawyers, though, or your money. So. Did you really hear that? No. Any final thoughts are really to tell the whole world there? I know you kind of said it on the radio, but this is such a hard thing to conclude and to close.
I think everybody's process is different. And one of the things in the recovery community is that everybody tries to say this is the way to do it. You do it spiritually, or you do it abstinence, or you do it harm reduction. Everybody says this is the only way. And I disagree with that. After doing this for 21 years, I've seen clients come from all different walks of life and all different paths and get to the same exact point, just a different way. So I think everybody's different. And I think it's okay that your way is different as long as it's working. If it's not working, then we need to readdress it. But if it's working, then it's okay.
That's phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
You just hit the nail on the head.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
I just want some final comments also from Rachel. Rachel, what are some of your final comments on this topic tonight? I'm so sorry we kind of talked over you. We didn't actually get to you a lot.
No. That's the wonderful thing about being fully present is allowing God to work through the conversation. And there were so many good nuggets that were shared this evening. I didn't have to contribute. I was just here in spirit and just, coming along in some of the conversations. So absolutely. I know for me, abstinence works for me. And just like you mentioned, everybody has their own individual way of doing things. I know I could never pick up cocaine again. When I did cocaine, it was, I'm 41. It was in my 20s. And I put it down in my 20s. I couldn't even imagine doing it again. But alcohol, that's another subject. That really was the one for me. And so with sugar, too, I have to be mindful. Like, for instance, when your body is going through different changes, I had my thyroid taken out just recently, about 7 months ago. I've gained 20 pounds because I've been eating sugar. My body didn't crave sugar before. It absolutely didn't. But I'll tell you, because of the changes, I started craving it. So that's something that I'm, working on myself. So the big picture is that for me, at least I know my walk and my recovery is I have to be mindful of what I do put in my body and the reasons why I do it. So yeah, definitely. This has been wonderful.
Wow. That is some good final thoughts right there, too. Because I like what you said, too, about I need to be mindful.
Yeah.
I need to be mindful in my recovery. Mindful.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm 10.5 years sober, even now, even in the last week or so, going through whatever, just life, stress, this happening, that
Sure,
happening,
yeah.
get business deals, a radio show, all kinds of things happening. Well, I find myself stopping at the gas station and getting like some Reese's Pieces.
Right.
Why did
Where'd that come from?
Why did I do that? Why did I stop at the gas station? Only got Reese's Pieces at the gas station. I didn't buy gas.
You need an intervention?
I need a sugar intervention.
I love this.
Sally, help me.
Mm-hmm.
Help me.
I love this. Yes. Yes.
Help me. So I think that's a good point. I have to be mindful. Again, why am I doing what I'm doing?
Right.
If I just have a so-called sweet tooth, or you know what, I'm feeling pressures of life, and I exercised today. I did all these, prayed, meditate, do those other things, and whatever's going on, and I don't have all the things in my life that I want, so I'm just going to soothe myself in a little thing of sugar. I believe that is going down a path that could, if I'm not mindful.
Right.
Am I losing my mind to some sugar? I mean, let's not get ridiculous, but
Right.
I'm taking a step, I think, into the essence of not being emotionally sober.
Well.
Emotional sobriety,
Yeah.
if I'm not emotionally sober,
Right.
can eventually lead down a path eventually
Yeah.
eventually
Only one step.
to a relapse.
That's
It's
bingo.
true.
Right?
You hit it. Because
Right?
Yeah,
we
and
have to
tools.
watch out
Calling sponsor.
for the unknown triggers to our
Exactly.
relapses.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
As we're driving in the car and we come to the stoplight and we're stopped and we're calm and we're focused, we're paying attention, but the person behind us isn't. Wham! Oh, and then off you go on a tangent. Well, I just need a candy bar. Well, this candy bar didn't work for me at Walgreens. After talking to the police and dealing with a ticket and dealing with this guy, I'm going to go get a beer. Be careful of your unknown triggers. That one trigger is out there. Stop, drop, and pray. That's my answer.
Woo, stop, drop, and pray.
That's right.
Before we go here, I want to
Another
ask
tool.
Dr. Cali Estes, at what point can sugar lead to relapse? When is sugar a problem in my life?
Okay, so I was going to piggyback off of
Oh,
what
yeah.
you
Wait,
said.
go there first and come back to me.
No, it fits in. So, okay, so you stop to get a Snickers bar, and that leads to alcohol. Here's why. Body chemistry, alcohol and sugar and opiates all break down the same. So if your drug of choice was alcohol or opiates, you need to come off sugar and be very, very mindful because you could end up there very, very fast chemically, not emotionally.
Right.
Emotionally, you can say,
Chemically.
I'm not going to
Right.
touch that Budweiser or that whatever. But chemically, your body's going, you need that. And it translates that, the alcohol, and the sugar is the same thing.
Wow.
So chemically, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so alcohol is my drug of choice.
Mhm.
So sugar can be a very dangerous thing.
Sugar's
Right.
your gateway drug. Because you
Yeah.
have started having
Sugar's
two.
a
Yeah.
gateway
Gateway
drug.
drug, like we're talking, right.
Yeah.
Like
Love that.
marijuana is a gateway drug to other people. Sugar might be my gateway
Way
drug.
For
to
opiates
relapse.
and alcohol, not Xanax, but opiates and alcohol because it chemically changes your body, just like the opiates and the alcohol. So if you have a Snickers bar and you go out with your girlfriends and you have dessert and they're all having dessert wine, your body goes, you need that. Your mind goes, I've got 10 years sober, I'm not touching that. But your
Right.
body goes, you
Right.
need it, you need
Right.
it. So you may have an extra piece of cheesecake to soothe that craving while they're all having dessert wine. So that's how your brain justifies it. Well, I'll just have a piece of cake. I'm not going to have the
Right.
wine. The cake and the wine metastasize the same.
Same.
Just sugar.
It's sugar.
Wow.
Yeah, so people
Right.
listening, I was like, you guys are a bunch of crazy freaks because are you saying that I can't ever have sugar again? That's insane.
But now for
What
me,
would we say?
okay, now remember, my drug of choice is sugar. My drug of choice is food. So here's your question. If I go to a buffet, do I relapse? Did I think it really crazy?
Oh! So if you're a food, hey, if you're a food addict
Right.
and I go to a buffet, do I relapse?
Well,
So
I
what
have to
If you
say
pick
yes.
the right food.
Download the Matrix.
Yes.
Boof.
If we're-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, hey, how about this?
But not if you
What-
pick the right food.
But no. What was your why? Why did you go to the buffet?
I went with a social group. I had one plate,
What
and
did
most
you-
of it was salad.
Then no.
So if I go and I have everything on the menu like I used to do, then I relapse.
If you're
Right.
if you're chasing escapism,
Uh-huh.
you relapse.
Okay, so that's a good way to explain relapse. But now, your first question was, If you're coming off of heroin and you go on to marijuana, are you relapsing? Not if you're not chasing escapism. If you're chasing not throwing up and not getting sick and fixing your biochemical problem, did you relapse?
Okay, so wait a minute. So here's my
Holy smokes!
Okay, wait. Since we're on the marijuana thing, I gotta.
Wait,
Well, you
one
gotta
at a
do
time. One at a time.
You gotta do something. When you're coming off alcohol and you're coming off opiates, the physical withdrawal is horrible. So you can't just stop.
Right.
You can't take an alcoholic and say, okay,
Right.
you're done. They could die.
Detox and die.
Same thing with Xanax. You could
Right.
die. You've got
Right.
to be properly detoxed.
Yeah.
So if you're not properly detoxed,
Come on over.
you're gonna die.
Right.
So,
So-
what if marijuana was the catalyst to do that? Does that all of a sudden mean you're relapsing on marijuana because you're not doing alcohol?
If you're done with the medical process,
If you haven't done the medical process.
if you haven't done the medical
I
process,
take somebody who's doing heroin who just shot up in the car and comes to me and says, "Help me get off this,"
And
and
you-
I take
you
him out
give
to
him a joint?
Colorado. I don't give him anything.
oh,
Don't give anybody anything.
I'm sorry.
I
She
take them
doesn't
to
give anybody
Colorado.
anything. Go to Colorado, where I'm from. It's everywhere.
And it's recreational. They can walk in and buy whatever they want. They'll walk in and they'll say, "I'm detoxing. What do you recommend?" The guy behind the counter is going to go, "How do you want to feel?" "I want to feel like this." "Okay." Boom, boom, boom. And there's Gorilla Glue. There's Lost Tribe. There's Banana Kush. There's all kinds of stuff. Each one does something different. And each one has a different level of THC. So depending upon what your ailment is, they can recommend a product for that ailment. So it's not about let's get high and wig out. It's about let's stop you from throwing up. Let's stop you from having
Okay.
restless legs.
So it's a medical process. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Correct.
saying. If you're using it for a medical process,
Mhm.
I don't believe it's a relapse. If the medical process is complete,
Right.
then a person is seeking mind altering.
Now here's the
Right.
question.
That's a relapse.
How do you know the medical process is complete?
Only to thine own self be true, my
So
friend.
you have to have
Nice.
To
self-restraint.
thine own self
Okay.
be true.
Well,
That's how you know.
what about
Because we
somebody-
wouldn't know on someone else.
What about somebody who did cocaine and drinking,
Mhm.
stopped for years, and then decided, "Oh, I'm going to try some pot," and is smoking pot? To me, that would be a relapse. That would be switching the drug, the
Two
drug of
things.
choice.
If they're addicted to the pot, meaning they have to have it, they do it on a daily basis, then I would say yes, that's a problem. But if they went out and had one joint, I don't look at it like you've got 10 years clean, you now relapse, you have to start from ground zero. I don't like that because there's too much guilt and shame. So what, you had a joint. If you're not doing it every day and it's not a problem and it's not your drug of choice, I'm okay with that.
That's not a relapse?
I don't like that word. Relapse comes with guilt and shame and negativity and starting over, and I don't like any of it.
So what would you call it?
I don't call
a
it anything.
slip up?
I don't even call it that. I say if it's not your drug of choice, it's not that big of a deal to me.
Okay.
But now there's exceptions. Alcohol, Xanax, and opiates become physical. So you can't go out and have a Xanax. You can go out and have a glass of wine, but you can't go out and have a Xanax. Xanax is going to lead to something worse. Klonopin, same thing.
I know I can't take
opiates.
Xanax ever again. No
Well, see,
doubt about
that's
it.
your drug of choice.
That's right.
Right. Now, you may, just for argument's sake, you may take a speed pill. You're not going to like it. Because if you like to come down,
I'm a down guy.
you're not going to like it. And you're going to say, I don't want any more of that. Don't give me that. I'm in reverse. So when I went in, I had surgery on my ovary, they wanted to give me morphine. I'm like, I don't want morphine. I'm like, why? I don't like morphine. Like, we'll give you a Percocet. I don't want a Percocet. We'll give you Dilaudid. I don't want a Dilaudid. Well, what do you want for pain? Give me an aspirin. That's what I wanted. Like, we have to give you something. I'm like, I don't want any of
You
it.
didn't want it.
I
Because
don't like to
you're a
come
go-go
down.
girl.
Right.
You're a go-go.
As soon as I come down, I'm not happy. My mental
I
state
don't
goes down.
feel good.
Exactly. I'm itchy.
Wow.
I'm uncomfortable. I don't like it. I want out of my skin. You give me speed, my body loves speed.
Now,
That is
Is
perfect
that
in my body.
genetic? Is
See,
that genetic?
That's a problem because we don't know.
We
My
don't know.
family history, nobody did drugs or alcohol. Not one person.
But in your opinion, are you medically wired for go-go's versus down?
I think so. I think if you took somebody's body chemistry and analyzed it, why some people prefer like their body chemistry, not the mind, not the emotional. Your body chemistry prefers Xanax, which I can't stand at all. I just drool from the mouth. I look like I
And
can't
I
stand
love Xanax all day long. Give me those things,
Oh my
man.
God.
Just whoop. Yeah.
No.
So, okay.
it. Right.
So right. So
our
I'm
body's different.
wired different. Maybe even clinically, biochemically.
Biochemically. Correct.
Biochemically, our cells could possibly be measurable in that different capacity that a stimulant we would crave more than another.
Correct.
Okay, now
Genetic.
try this.
That's
Now,
genetic.
okay, let's go. Since we're going there, let's go here.
Okay.
My thing is ingestion.
Mhm.
Medical marijuana comes in several different forms.
Mhm.
Like you said, they got Kush, they got this, they got that.
Mhm.
Now, they're all leaning towards smoking it. We all know that when you burn something, you basically are getting the purest form of it from the smoke. You freebase cocaine, you're getting the purest form of cocaine. When you smoke marijuana, you're getting the purest form of marijuana.
I'm going to disagree.
When
I'll
you're
tell you why.
ingesting,
Let her disagree.
when you're ingesting it in regular form, like you said, there's less levels of THC.
There's more.
When you ingest it
There's
from
more.
there's more.
Okay, smoking
There's
it
more.
is 20 to 40% THC.
Okay.
Then you have your edibles. Your edibles is piece of chocolate can have 200 milligrams. Sorry, chocolate bar would have 200 milligrams of THC.
Wait, chocolate and THC and chocolate.
That's the edibles. They come in
And
different
edibles, and
grades.
edibles.
You take
Oh,
the
all right,
chocolate.
right.
Now,
Don't freak me
Okay.
out. I was like, the Hershey bar I had like 2
No,
weeks
no,
ago.
no.
yes. Oh my God. You know, the
So they're
brownies.
making it with.
They're using the purest form. Now, there's different types. Okay, so smoking is not the way to do it. If you're gonna smoke it, you're gonna have lung cancer. So if you're going to detox, use edibles or oil. They come in capsules.
Okay.
And then you can have THC in the capsule, or you can have no THC. CBD oil is no THC. When you cultivate the plant, you separate the two.
Interesting.
So you could detox with no THC.
So you could actually, to your point, you could detox
Clean.
with marijuana.
Correct.
That's what she does. She
Yeah.
that's how she helps me.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
this is the argument people have or should have. What about the 90% grade THC? It's called dabbing. That's a problem. That is so when you finish with the marijuana plant, this little ball of wax is created. Remember when you were a
Okay.
kid, made a rubber band ball?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Okay.
They take it, they flatten it, they break a piece off like glass, like crack,
Okay.
and they put it in the pipe and they light it like crack, and it's 90% THC. That is no good. Period.
Wow.
So I don't condone that. That is getting high. You end up, it's like an LSD effect.
Really?
Yes. That, I call it talking to the wet napkin because they just stare and they're out of it. That's a no-no. So when we're doing marijuana detox, we don't look at that. We look at maybe the edibles into the CBD oil. We step them down so that they're not sick. That's the whole game, is don't get sick.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of it.
I've had friends on cancer that smoked pot because the nausea went away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Now, they could get the same thing in a CBD oil with no THC.
Really?
It just depends on what type of cancer they have and how they feel. That may not work for them. The person next to them may work with CBD oil. The other person may need a THC capsule. So it just depends on the person's body.
Interesting.
Wow. And that right there was for Dr. Jamie Alexander, because he chimed in the show and he said, what about medical marijuana? Right there, the whole breakdown component of medical marijuana down to the clinical level, all the options that can be used for all different elements of cancers, disease, detox. And I agree. There is a place for it, a medical process for it. I would support a medical process of it. But I believe just like Percocet, just like Vicodin or whatever painkillers, and somebody has a surgery. I blew up my arm a couple years ago. I actually ruptured my bicep tendon, pulled it off the bone. They had to remove my tendon. They had to get a medical screw and they had reattached my bicep tendon and
Did
screw
you
it to my...
overdo it at the gym
in
because
my-
you're out of
Oh,
balance?
I knew that was coming.
So
Could you repeat that, please?
Did you overdo it at the gym because you're out of balance?
what gym? I don't go to a gym. Stereotype? No, actually, I didn't play in racquetball. True story. I stiffened my arm after
You
I
see
trained.
this face?
Okay.
Okay, that's not a part of the story.
Denial. is
True
what we got
story,
here.
playing racquetball after I trained. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Wait, wait. So you trained.
I worked out.
Uh-huh.
My muscles were tight.
Uh-huh.
I go into the racquetball court.
Wait. How long did you work out for?
Right.
45 minutes.
Oh, so you finished your
Yeah,
1
but
hour of balance working out and then went and got another
I
hour.
gotta do my cardio.
I said denial.
Okay. So
Justification.
Justification.
Compartmentalization.
Oh, now it's justification.
back to the topic. That was our commercial break. Are you guys still with me now? You just ignore it over here. I'm getting to a point, America. Okay. Okay, so they gave me Percocet. And I actually was obviously very concerned about what was happening with this whole major operation. I actually had a nurse come. A nurse came to stay with me for 2 days and actually monitored every pill, every ibuprofen, every Percocet element through this process. And let me tell you something. I told the surgeon, I said, look, I'm in recovery, I'm sober, I'm scared to take this. He said, Kent, you don't understand. You must and need to take the Percocet. If you don't relax right after surgery, your body's not relaxed, it won't set and heal right. You don't understand. In the medical situation, I am telling you, you must take the Percocet. I said, I didn't realize in that moment the absolute medical need for certain substances. So that shifted my brain over. This is what happened, guys. 4 days after the surgery, I'm able to, in the sling, move it a little bit, and I was able, at sleep, I was able to roll over a little bit. I remember after the 4th day after surgery, I rolled over. As I woke up, the sun was up. My first thought was this: I hope my arm hurts today. Did you catch that? I hope when I lift my arm, I hope it hurts so bad.
So you could take another Percocet.
That I need Percocet. In that moment, I knew I'm right at the edge. I'm at the edge from medical necessity to my addict-ism taking over relapse. And that was the moment. It scared
the unknown
me
trigger
to death.
Right. But see, that's your drug of choice. You were dumped into your drug of choice, not by your choice.
Right.
And you were told, here you go, you have to have this.
Right.
That's like taking an alcoholic to a bar going, you have to have this glass of wine. Your life depends on it.
Right.
She's going to go, why? Why do I have to have it? You have to have it. She has one glass, and then tomorrow night we go back, you have to have this again. By the 3rd day, she goes, I can't wait to go to the bar. I'm so excited.
That's what you do.
That's a tough one. Yeah. That's a tough one because medical necessity, you did the right thing. You had a nurse come monitor it. I always say get a coach or get a therapist to work through the mind, because your mind starts going, hey, Ken, hey, Ken, hey, Ken.
Oh, it did.
Oh, yeah.
This little monkey guy right here is like, oh, you're good. You can justify another 10 days of this. You can get a refill in 3 more days, Ken.
I have a name for that little thing.
Wow.
I used to have a client called the Diablo, the devil. And I said, we're going to call it the Drama Fairy because it's way more dramatic. Drama Fairy. I need to have this. Kent, you have to have it.
I think I'll choose Diablo a little bit more.
Yeah, it's Drama Fairy.
So I have to have
Mine was simple.
fairy.
It's called Dude. Oh, no, the dude's talking again. I got to go.
But see, but if it's the Drama Fairy, it's way more condescending. You're like, oh, there's the Drama Fairy. You don't want to deal with the Drama Fairy because the dude or the Diablo sounds cool. Drama Fairy.
Yeah.
Kent and his Drama Fairy.
I got to keep my fairies away.
There you go.
Okay. So this is actually great topics, guys. Again, this is controversial. We can go on all night about it. It's so awesome. So now you know why Dr. Cali Estes is the founder.
This chick rocks.
Yeah. She is awesome. The founder of the Addiction Academy. Now you know why, guys. Yeah. I'm so happy with all my fans. You probably heard her through the months and months and months of the show. She would chime in every week for a while as an expert chime in. Now you know why, live in person. She is absolutely amazing. I got some certifications through her. I got my International Masters Addiction Coach process through her. It's a 6-month course program. She's amazing. She teaches people all over the world. She has 3,500 certified coaches.
Wow.
And interventionists.
And interventionists. She has certified 3,500 people in this world. Wow. Awesome. So if you want to contact her, if you want to get into this industry, follow your heart, make a difference, help people in their essence of recovery, become a national certified recovery coach. I'm telling you, if you're out there and if this helps you at all, she is really awesome. I just say that because I've experienced her courses. And we're teaming up. We're going to do some big things in business coming up soon together. We're going to do some series together. And I didn't mean to bring that up tonight, but this is the truth. We're working on some amazing things that we're going to bring out to the world of recovery together. Cool. So stay tuned in the next couple of months for that. But contact her, the Addiction Academy.
TheAddictionsAcademy.com. It's plural. TheAddictionsAcademy.com or TheAddictionsCoach.com or CaliEstes.com.
Yeah, awesome. And then over here, Rachel, we didn't get to talk, poor Rachel, we didn't talk too much about tonight.
Please don't feel bad.
We're going all this stuff over here.
Together.
But tell them, though, I know because she's also a nationally certified recovery life coach also. Yeah. And so tell people how they can get a hold of you if they want to talk to you.
Yeah, you can reach me at my website, conversationsbydesign.com, or you can call my cell phone, which is 561-234-0823.
Whoa,
yeah.
She gave her number out over the air.
I know.
Simon, are you okay with that, brother?
I've got you, Ken.
You got me? I got your back right there. Awesome Simon from England. Go ahead and switch over. Let him see you guys.
And say hello to Jojo.
Hey, Jojo!
Hey,
What's up?
have a lovely evening. Great weekend. Be blessed.
Awesome, awesome. Simon, that's actually Rachel's husband, and he's from Great Britain, and you probably heard first of the show that he actually worked for the royal family with Princess Diana, the Queen, Prince Charles. He's just an amazing guy. And then also say goodbye to my main man, AJ.
Hey, glad you were with us. You know, I was just talking to Ken about an after the show podcast. I think we just pulled that
I
off,
think
bro.
we just
I think we just did an after the show
about a
podcast.
half-hour podcast, guys. So
Awesome.
you got some bonus coverage
Yeah.
tonight, but we had to take advantage of this. I'm so excited for Cali to be here. I'm not kidding you. I've been waiting over 6 months to have her on the show, guys. And she traveled 2 hours in traffic from Miami to get up
On a
here
Friday
on a
night.
Friday night. So I want to get as much woosah from her as I bought. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Keep commenting. I'll check this, or I can connect you with the team. We're here to help you. We love you. We're family. Even though I know this is a fun, controversial, but this is what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, not every show should be about death and tragedy and the stories of addiction. That's important, but sometimes we got to talk about these topics because these are also very important. These topics are killing people too.
Yeah.
Justified behaviors down trigger points down into their drug of choice, and people are dying.
Yeah.
570,000 people are going to die this year of addiction. Okay? I talked about it last night on the show. Almost 250,000 of those people are between the ages of 12 and 26. Our children are dying. Our country is dying. And we are here teamed up as warriors, as soldiers of recovery, because we have a heart for this, because it just about killed all of us. And we have a heart and love for you.
Amen.
Everyone in this room,
Solutions.
including the cameraman, we're all, in essence, have some element of struggle. Everyone has had in this room has had some element of a struggle that we all had to overcome. So therefore, we have a love and a passion for you watching this. And it's genuine, guys. I hope everyone you know in this room has a genuine, loving heart to help people. I hope that came across tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey,
And,
we're here for you.
Awesome,
I'm glad
guys.
you're here for us.
Thank you for your support. We'll be back on the air Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, guys. My Recovery Radio. God bless you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. God bless you.
God bless you.